Aloha, y'all. It is Wednesday, ruled by Mercury. Odin, well, I guess is the etymology here, Wednesday. It is the 7th of October. I pulled the 7th hexagram this morning in my daily I Ching card thing, and my fiance and I actually pulled the 7th gene key. A lot of sevens for me today. So today is a yellow planetary human guided by universal fire. And what we're dealing with is the sacral chakra. So if you are into doing chakra meditations, clearing them, balancing them, etc., exploring chakras, you can get into the Svadhisthana chakra, do the mantras, do the mudras. You'll be glad you did. Trust me. So let's go ahead and pull some cards. You might hear some construction because they are building a chimney behind me and very close to my room. So if there's random loud thuds, don't fear for my safety or life. So what can we get today? What wants to pop? We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Haley, I was even facetiously, she pulled this and I was like, oh, I'll get the Queen of Pentacles. Can't make this shit up. So, the Queen of Pentacles, queens are the highest feminine. Pentacles are things, if you're a Taurus, like material things. If you're a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, you're going to naturally resonate with these suits. And the Queen of Pentacles. The watery, the emotional, intuitive, nurturing part of Earth. Grounding, planning, practicality, health, abundance, wealth, beauty. Nurturing yourself and the environment around you, being open to the needs of others, distributing the wealth you have equally among others, and channeling your gifts to create new life. Queen of Pentacles, I love and nurture this great land of ours. The Queen of Pentacles is the ultimate Earth Mother, the great healer. As a mistress of nature, she is the great protector, nourisher, and sustainer of wildlife and their ecosystems. Her passionate connection to the miracle of life in all of its forms has given her knowledge of the bountiful matrix. Everything is indeed connected to everything else, powered by the sun. She is the great channeler of the Vitas, the life catalyzer, signified here by the fecunda energy streaming from her hands, shooting life into the seed pod, which releases the strand of DNA into the world. Utterly sensitive, sensual, and receptive, she is an abundant channel in this Garden of Eden. The small armadillo wears armor on its back, symbolic of protection. The armor is a physical and spiritual shield which guards its safety, indicating not only the need to protect the heart when the occasion calls, but reminding us humbly of how small we are in the scheme of life. This creature typically lives in subterranean dens, further prompting us to remember the earth is the great womb and tomb of life. We are all part of Mother Earth, an indivisible living community of interconnected systems. Evidence of exploration and exploitation and contamination to the lands over the years has led to corrosive deterioration and destruction, threatening the diversity of life, including our own. If we were to boldly proclaim as a universal declaration of rights, announcing the earth is Gaia, a living entity with the right to exist, persist, and maintain and regenerate its vital cycles, then might we not be catalyzing the life force from the seed pod with our own hands? We need legal power to prevent misguided interests from treating this earth as mere property to be sold to the highest bidder. Might it protect the gift of fresh, clean water, less than 3% of all water source, and even more miraculously fragile, less than 0.01% of the surface water found in lakes, swamps, and rivers and streams? The armadillo's uncanny ability to walk underwater and survive torrential flooding by inflating its body so it floats reflects a way we ourselves might navigate the watery realm of emotions and surrender to its torrents. This queen is certainly moved to take action. Despite her considerable wealth and status, she is conscious of the precious opportunities and resources she can access in her daily life. She doesn't take them for granted for 1 minute. Aware of her afforded privileges that many in the developing world don't have, she realizes wealth for all can only happen when we engage our collective political and social will to distribute it fairly. You are being invited to connect with the natural abundance of nature that is your birthright and channel its beauty to catalyze your life. With the sun and Libra, this is talking about not letting people get out of control, bringing beauty, right, into the world. The moon is in Gemini, so we're able to do this in hopefully a playful manner. Kind of like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He has fun, I guess you could say, in this old film with somebody going and dealing with the political process. We can look at it as an adventure. But what are we being called into? The adventure of responsibility. Sun and Libra. The ability to think beyond our, both be practical and helpful now, Venus and Virgo, but also for future generations. We can't just think about ourselves and our own profit margins, right? Like we have to think about long-term stuffs and stuff beyond the present moment, even though we're paradoxically supposed to be in the moment. Does that make sense? So let's go ahead and get a Dreams of Gaia. We got the King of Water. So I got a King and Queen. Queen of Earth, King of Water. Let me just find this guy. 298. I've got a Beck song stuck in my head. I want to define the logic of our sex laws. All right, sorry. King of Water. Calm, contemplative, insightful, fluid, balanced, Sun and Libra, right? Protective, nurturing, jealousy, and possessiveness. Key phrases: safe harbor in a storm, letting go of gender bias, strength born of adaptability, very Sun and Libra, balance, right? Stability, but Moon and Gemini, adaptive. Be present in your relationships, a need for excitement, Gemini Moon all day. Marry critical thinking and emotional logic, both and. This is the Libra scales. We need both. You can't just have logic like Spock and and no emotion. You need Kirk, you need Spock. They represent parts of yourself. Allowing your feelings to guide a decision and addressing a cause for jealousy. The King of Water represents a strong man who is calm and protective, like a safe harbor in a storm. He is nurturing, caring father who embraces no gender-specific role. He is willing to be both mother and father, nurturer and protector, homemaker and provider. As a partner, he is loving and supportive, a gentle but passionate and sensual lover, and someone who is not afraid to explore and experiment. He is both sensitive and thoughtful, but never weak or soft. He exudes strength. He is who he is because he chooses to be present and caring, adaptable, and fluid. He loves to use his senses because to do so is to elicit an emotional response, and he is willing to look within and explore those emotions to increase his understanding. Very Gemini Moon. It's like, why do I do things? I play around and I learn from it, right? He is a person who successfully married critical thinking with emotional logic, both and, Libra Sun. The process of using one's emotions and feelings in a logical manner to become more knowledgeable and aware, Mercury and Scorpio. Piercing the veil with our minds emotionally, and uses this to his advantage. He is aware that all decision making has an emotional element and that no decision can be balanced without emotions and feelings being taken into account. Don't just be hard logic, have heart. He has learned from his emotions and uses that knowledge in a productive and constructive manner. Are you considering your feelings in your decision making process? Now is the time to do so. The King of Water is multifaceted, meaning he symbolizes an approaching time of peace and calm, where you will have time and space to simply be and grow. He also represents as Venus and Virgo, so it's like just tend your garden, just slow and steady wins the race. Practically speaking, for the beautification and the health of all Venus and Virgo. He also represents a need to let go of emotion-based gender bias and to embrace the awareness that this archaic paradigm belongs to the past. Sun and Libra. It's like, it don't matter if you're black or white or man or woman or whatever the polarity is. Like, come into balance and know that it's all necessary. The equality of the Libra scales. Have fun with life emotionally and be kind of curious and don't be so judgmental, right? Be emotionally open. Gemini Moon. A woman can be just as closed off and intense and insensitive as a man. Oh, it says, a man can be just as insensitive and vulnerable, nurturing and supportive as any woman. A woman can be just as closed off and insensitive as a man. Both can be communicative with regards to their feelings, and both can be uncommunicative. Both sexes have the same qualities. How emotionally open or closed a person is has nothing to do with gender, and everything to do with the individual and their journey. We have been conditioned to believe that men and women are emotionally different when they are, in fact, and in truth, the same. As with the other court cards, the King of Water can also represent a person in your life who embodies the traits of the king. If you are in need of this counsel or safe harbor, seek him out at this time. So we have a King of Water for the clarifier, but ultimately Queen of Pentacles. So it's like, yo, let's be a blessing. We've been blessed to be a blessing, and let's keep our hearts open. Let's not just think we know everything and be like a fascist, a tyrant. That would be maybe the shadow of a Queen of Pentacles, like Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy, diva stuff, where it's like, I want only green Skittles, and on my rider, when I go do concerts, and if I have any other colored Skittles, I don't even know if green Skittles are a thing, blue Skittles, and if I do, I won't sing. It's like, okay, can you be a little more flexible? This would be the flexibility we're looking for. In some way, this is the polarity of the Libra Sun. Earth and water balance each other. Fire and air balance each other. Those are the polar opposites in that kind of dichotomy. So let's go ahead and pull some, Galactic Heritage action. Let's see what wants to pop. Natural humility. That's what we're getting. Number 69. Lyra timeline. I was going to say some dumb joke about kings and queens and 69s, but I won't. On page 108, that's a sacred Buddhist number. Natural humility, future, Lyra. The ancient Lyran trait of arrogance eventually transformed into a beautiful trait of natural humility. So you can be tyrannical. You could be a king, but like in order to be, or a queen, in order to be a good leader and even a good lover, you have to have natural humility. You have to like be willing to like meet them where they are too. This humility is not one of low self-worth, but instead it acknowledges that all beings, including the self, are equal in the eyes of the universe, and no one is more special than another. This natural humility represents a balanced ego, Sun and Libra, balance, right? Ego, and is essential for the transformation of a species. Transformation is the moon in Gemini. It's very adaptive, right? Transformational. Look within. Begin the process of knowing that all beings in the universe are equal to you. It's ultimate wet dream for a Libra. It's like everything's equal. Oh my gosh. Even the Buddha. Watch how this thought could be one of arrogance or profound humility. Therein lies the lesson. This Lyran time stream represents the Lyran culture after they healed their karma and the challenges of the past when they were a young species. One of the most profound challenges of the immature Lyran species in the past was arrogance. After much self-observation and practice of generosity, they transformed their species to one that embodied a powerful humility that was natural and authentic. Most planetary species have to make this transition in order to enter the galactic community. Humans on Earth, as a species, not as individuals, have not yet begun this process with full commitment. The development of this trait comes from viewing reality as a holistic unit rather than us and them, right? Don't just look at one side of the scale of the Libra scales. Like, look at it as a unity. If this card comes up in your reading, it could mean many things depending on the surrounding cards and your situation in life. It could mean that you are already expressing this trait. It may mean that you need to look at the world in a more holistic way, embracing the connectedness of all beings and surrender the view of separation in order to develop your natural humility more completely. Be honest in your self-observation and open to the messages from your higher self about what this card really means for you. So, that's what's up. I mean, there's a 6, and there's a 6 if you flip it, right? That's the whole funny thing about 6 9s. King and queen, right? So we've got reciprocity. Hopefully, people are, being powerful in their power, but also humble with their power, and caring and kind with their power. Being firm, Queen of Pentacles, simultaneously being open-hearted and compassionate, King of Cups. And we've got the Tiger, the will. So both the King of Cups, or water, the King of Water as the clarifier and the Queen of Pentacles have to show through their willpower humility. They have to, they know they're at the top of the pyramid, and just to crush people with their will is not a good look. 34, which reduces to 7, and today is the 7th. Will. Exercise your will and determination in ethical ways. Do not place your will over others. You do not have control over anyone but yourself. Do not be afraid to be fierce, especially as a woman. We can ride our healthy anger, but we must eventually transform it into something more useful. Mythos. Durga came riding into people's lives on the back of a snarling tiger. She was a warrior and carried weapons to subdue and destroy, yet her face was serene and calm. It was the evils of life she was after, the false illusions, the damaging rage, the petty jealousies, greed, and anything that the will may choose to harm. The Hindu goddess Durga is the embodiment of the powerful feminine energy of Shakti, and she wields it mightily to make the way clear. She protects the natural order of nature and nature of the self. Very Queen of Pentacles, rather. Protecting nature, right? Like, she's a boss, but she's humble enough to be a steward. She's not just like, well, I'm a queen, so I want a tennis court here, so let's take out the forest. Right? She protects the natural order of nature and the nature of the self. She rides her tiger to preserve the will we have towards what good we can do and towards subduing the negative parts of ourselves and our will that we may wish to place upon others, so we are not controlled by these impulses. The tyranny of control and the power of will, right? That can be a problem. She swings. We need to, with our sacral chakra today, be tapping into creative ways to lead through the willpower. She swings her 8 arms and destroys what is evil. Not only does Durga grab the tiger by the tail, she rides it. One of the most recognizable animals on Earth due to their markings, the tiger is part of the Panthera genus. Tigers are the largest of the big cats, and even tigresses are capable of taking down prey in excess of their own body weight. Tigers are found in Russia, Asia, and India, with the largest populations in the latter. They are diurnal carnivorous hunters, eating small to medium prey, such as antelope, pigs, monkeys, and deer, and sometimes birds and fish. They tend to be binge eaters and consume huge amounts of flesh, up to 30 kilograms in one sitting. They are good swimmers. Tigers are territorial and range over very big territories, enjoying a natural variety of habitats. This has become a problem as most tigers now live in countries where the population of humans is so dense that their habitat has been much reduced. Tigers have been known to kill and eat humans, but this usually occurs when they are being hunted by humans. The magic. Tiger magic is wild and mysterious. It is the energy we can use to counter jealousy. Hopefully you guys could see this card. I don't know, it's a little bright. I don't know if that even helped. Oh God. Oh God. Well, that was funny. Definitely got to be careful with my camera skills or lack thereof. Do I have the will to not touch things and fuck them up? Back to this. Tiger magic is wild and mysterious. It is the energy we could use to counter jealousy, threat, and rage. It is highly protective and helps us find more resourceful ways to deal with difficult situations and people. This is the king of water. It's like, can you be creative and humble with your rage and power? Like, you don't have to just, lop off their heads if you don't like the citizens. Tiger magic is feminine in aspect, and women could use it to help them gain confidence and to find their healthy fierceness. Symbology, stripes, healthy fierceness, not just like rage for no good reason. Symbology, stripes, glowing eyes in the dark, woman riding a tiger. Status, there are currently less than 4,000 tigers in the world. They are critically endangered, which is very sad. What comes to mind is Khaleesi, right, from Game of Thrones. She had a strong will, and she didn't know how to control it. Ultimately, in the end, it burned down a village and cost her life. Not a good look, but I guess she felt justified in her anger or something, but ultimately it hurt her more than helped. So don't go for those quick fixes. Go for something meaningful and lasting. That would be the wise move as a king or queen. Rem Koolhaas is who we're getting as the artist. Before he was a Pritzker Prize-winning architect, Rem Koolhaas was a journalist and writer, hailed for his retroactive Manhattan Manifesto Delirious New York. Founder of architecture firm OMA and its research branch AMO, and that's kind of a palindrome, right, of an acronym. So it's kind of balanced on Libra and playful with the words Moon and Gemini. Rem mixes his practice with fashion, literature, and media and builds on big, controversial ideas about the modern world. With graphic designer Bruce Mao, Koolhaas published SMLXL in 1995, a landmark tome that blends literary genres to present OMA projects and philosophies. Koolhaas's office is like a fertility clinic for talent, having produced some of the most innovative, in-demand architects working today. Right, so he created what? A space for others to be creative and powerful in. He held space, right? And they were able to be very creative and change culture, right? So Queen of Pentacles, King of Water, respectively. He probably wasn't a tyrant. He might have had demands, but he probably wasn't just like, it's my vision only, I want to include others. He had a humility about him. He willed it to be. It wasn't there before him. He made it happen with others, and then it was so, right? So the will coming in hard. It says, a good manifesto is foremost legible. So with Venus and Virgo, Mercury and Scorpio, let's get the details, but let's make sure they're legible. Let's make sure they're practical and healthy. Let's make sure they're embodied, With the Sun in Libra, we can bring balance and beauty to things. And with the Moon in Gemini, we can have fun, right, emotionally. But at the same time, we need to make sure we can see what we're doing. Like, is the writing on the wall clear and concise and legible and in a font everybody can read, et cetera, et cetera? Is it actually, beautiful, right, in a sense? Because you can be so rash or egoic or whatever, just to write your name, John Hancock, all big and stuff. And it's like, okay, did that really help? Make sure you're having the natural humility here. I mean, everyone knows John Hancock because he's on his name the biggest, but it's like, bro, like, we get your enthusiasm, take a chill pill. He was showing his will to be part of that situation. But what we really need to do is a good manifesto is foremost legible. We need to use our will to concentrate on details, Venus and Virgo, while still maintaining a sense of play, Moon and Gemini. For what? Beautification, balance, harmony, etc. Sun and Libra, right? Let's get a crystal card, and then I'll play my guitar, and then we'll all get along with our days or something. So we got sapphire. There's a whole slew of sapphires. What it is, often blue, but sometimes pink or yellow, sapphire, like ruby, is a variety of the mineral corundum. With its peacemaking force field of sparkle energy, sapphire protects the vulnerable and squishy stuff inside from judgmental people and their unsolicited BS. Who needs it? Students of ancient wisdom. Where to put it? So Mercury and Scorpio, right? Occultists. And even wisdom seekers beyond the occult. Where to put it? On your right middle finger, the finger of Saturn, Sapphire's associated planet. When to use it? When resentments are doing more damage to you than to those you're holding them against. When your anger is just burning you up, right? When your will, this is the Durga thing, like, are you using your will in a way that's not humble? Are you just kind of lashing out? Like, you need to be a good king or queen, king or queen, and not just off with their heads every time somebody offends you. That's not a good look. You'll lose your kingdom really quick. You might have some fear, but no one loves you, right? A good manifesto is legible in the sense that, like, it's the writing on the walls. It should be coming from love, not fear and power. So, when resentments are doing more damage to you than to those you're holding them against, enlist Sapphire to call forth that old soul that resides within, i.e. the wisest part of you who couldn't possibly care less about what anybody else thinks of you. At best, that's the Queen of Pentacles. She's like, I've got duties to do, and I'm going to do them, and I don't really care if they're popular or not. She says, find your tranquil place. So, when I see the Queen of Pentacles, I think of Galadriel in the forest. She's just like, I'm in a nice, beautiful wood, and I'm doing beautiful things, and I don't really care what Mordor's doing. I mean, she cares, but she's like, that's not my world. I can't tend to that, right? Let's bring emotional sensitivity to every situation while being practical and realistic and grounded, right? It's both and. Libra Sun. Use your will to the best. Like, don't just be a tyrant. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat other people up. But you still be strong. See, there's a balance there. Libra Sun. Find your tranquil place, right? Humility is about going into a place where it's still and you're aware of others. Libra Sun, Gemini Moon. Maybe when you go to that happy, tranquil place, you think more about the people that you constitute as your enemies or something like that, or people that you don't even think about normally at all. And a good manifesto is foremost legible. So make sure that you're writing up a lifestyle, I guess you could say, that makes sense, that's reasonable, that is articulated. Sun in Libra, Moon in Gemini. That's thoughtful. Find your tranquil place, though. So everyone's got a different kind of looking happy place. Let's find that happy place. Of course, I've managed to forget to do one or two things real quick. All right, so hopefully that stays still. Alright, and then here, cool. This thing is not particularly well suited for holding up. Alright. Yes, the Queen of Pentacles with the King of Water is a clarifier. Let's go ahead and jam to it. Hopefully you're all doing well today. I had some weird ass dreams last night. I don't know about y'all. Practical, but emotionally aware. Hopefully. It's actually one of the first. It's like a 2-5-1. Maybe it's not. I don't even remember. It's a kind of jazz sequence, and this is probably one of the first jazzy kind of sequences I ever fucked with as a guitarist. So my brother and I used to jam over this sequence quite a bit back in the day. So today we have on this Wednesday Queen of Pentacles. Try to be practical, try to be beautiful, try to be impeccable, try to be perfect right? This queen is here to be perfection embodied in a graceful way. But make sure when you're being powerful that you're also humble, right? And caring. Natural humility, right? Make sure that you're willing to give from your heart and not just rule from dictatorial positions. We all have a willpower. Some of us have a will that actually affects many other people. So try to make a good manifesto, make it legible, make your rules known, make your expectations known, make your will known, but do it in a soft, beautiful, encompassing way, right? Find your tranquil place within your power. You don't have to just run around killing people that you don't agree with. Not a good look, but at the same time, you want to have boundaries. You want to have your will expressed and stuff. So it's a both and. Scope out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. You won't regret it. Trust me. We've had a lot of famous people and not famous people on there, so it's a lot of fun. We're almost at 170 episodes. Fascinating conversations about all sorts of things. Hit me up for a reading if you want. Love giving them. And also just, enjoy your day. Try to make the most of it and be fully present in your power to support yourself and others through your will, but be compassionate to yourself and others. Be humble. Don't just run around lopping off heads and killing people because you feel like it, I guess. Adios.